And we're back. It's been a minute. So I want to give you kind of like a breakdown of what's been going on. As you can see, I'm in a different location. I moved house, and while the PC was in for repairs and back and forth with insurance, and we'll get into that in a second. And we're finally in a place where we can start recording again, which is great, and I'm super stoked. And I think we might actually just go straight to 4K. I was going to wait until we finished Returnal to move into 4K, but how everything's turned out, we're just going to go halfway through. Well, there's also something we need to discuss on that as well. So basically, the machine bombed out a couple weeks ago now. I think we're actually like 6 weeks. I'll double check when I upload. But machine bombed out, got insurance to come through and have a look, got my got the technician from my supplier to come out. Eventually, insurance said, no, it's not surge. And it was just like, well, the inverter died. So I had it straight in the wall. And then that's when all the shit started. So for me, it was just like, there was no way it was just some random coincidence. Anyway, eventually took the machine to EveTech. And shout out to EveTech. They were awesome. They did a deep diagnostic. My machine was on a full liquid cooling loop, so I had to pull the loop before they could do super thorough tests, because it's, obviously it's difficult. There's not much you can't exactly test that many individual components. Did that, and surprisingly, because what initially was what it looked like the whole thing had fried, like board, GPU, and potentially the CPU and RAM. We don't know, but we couldn't tell at that point anyway. But what it actually turned out was the minute the GPU was unplugged, everything was fine. It was nuts. Like BIOS loaded up quickly, CPU and RAM were fine, board's fine, everything was fine. The GPU is above me. See the blue one there? Frontier Edition. And I love the card, but I mean, for some bizarre reason, it just started messing with the whole system. And so, yeah. Good news is that I just had to replace the GPU. And at this point, with our power cuts, I was looking at investing in a battery backup, a big battery backup that goes directly into the DB. But luckily, some friends of mine had this space, so I'm renting from them, and they've got solar and battery backup. You might hear it come on. We're still working out how we're gonna make it quieter. I think the easiest is just going to be some fans, some Noctua A80s, because they're super quiet. And the standard fans that are in that inverter, it's like a Mesa Expert, but it's just branded Kodak. Essentially, what you do is the plug is a 5-watt plug, and an A80 is 1 watt. So what you do is you get a fan splitter and you put 2 on one plug, and then you have at the top, because it's super weird. So the inlet and the outlet are both on the bottom, and they're both next to each other. So you have this like thing where the inlet is pulling hot air coming out. So it's recirculating hot air. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be like that. I think somebody put the fan in the wrong way around. Look, I mean, I'm no inverter expert, but I know cooling and electronics. And normally you have fans pulling cool air in, hot air being blown out. Anyway, so the idea is to put 2 inlets on the bottom, 2 outlets at the top, and let passive cooling work at the same time, right? Because heat rises. And then it should be a similar performance, but a lot quieter. Anyway, that's another conversation for another time. Back on track. So, what then happened was, after this whole process, so what ended up transpiring was the machine. I was up and down to EveTech to pull the loop and get the machine repaired and organizing that. Then I moved. And then while I was moving, I made the move, and then I was trying to sort out the previous apartment, because there's things you got to do, like cleaning, and you've got to like repair any damages. And one of the little slats on the blinds had broken, and it was just like stuff, but it has to be done, because obviously they can't, they can't have new tenants with it looking like a dump. No, okay, that's flogged. It never looked like a dump. But I mean, it's got to be spick and span, understandably. So I was sorting that out, and then one of my clients is burgled. For those of you who don't know, I do IT support. Basically, like hardware, software. It's their networks, their machines, and I do a lot of it remotely. But when it's a scenario like that, they were held up. They were all fine. But all their stuff, all the laptops were taken, and so there it's like it's all hands on deck. So and luckily my other clients were pretty quiet. There was one or two things, but I could kind of maneuver around, sorting it out while I was at that client, just making sure they were up and running. So I got that sorted, and then it's just been like, look, it's a new place, so there's always like little things that you got to change, and little repairs and stuff like that. Oh, I've got that other light on. I don't know if that looks as good now. I'm not so sure about this lighting. Anyway, we'll play with that later. So yeah, it's been a bit of a whirlwind the last couple of weeks, but all in all, we're back. So Returnal, I'm afraid we're going to have to start again. One of the downsides, obviously, with reloading the machine is Returnal progress is gone, all of it. I managed to save the last recording I did, right, just before the machine completely bombed. And that was of the new biome. But I don't particularly want to upload that until I've got another recording in the bag, so we kind of start the chain again. I'm going to carry on doing the Elden Ring uploads just because, I wanted to make sure the channel wasn't like inactive. And now that I've done half of it, I kind of want to finish doing all of it. I'm not expecting, everybody to jump on all of that who's been kind of watching Returnal, obviously, because it's two completely different things. But for consistency, I'd like to keep it going. And also the thing is, I want to try and do at least 2 uploads a week. That's the goal. I'm not sure if it's going to happen, but I might be able to stream it. So if I can stream, then it could be viable, because then it's like, that's going to be that's going to be a whole new thing to get kind of like working. But we've got in the area, the internet's super stable, and we can have really, really good internet. I can have a terabyte down and half a terabyte up, which is great. And even if we go a little bit lower, it's like a terabyte down and 250 up. So streaming wise, we should be perfect. And also what I don't want to do is I don't want to fall behind, because I want to do, so the next 2 games for the channel are Lies of P and Lords of the Fallen. And I was thinking about Jedi as well, Fallen Order, but I think I might wait until all 3 and then just do a triple banger. I don't know, we shall see. And then also there's the thing of Starfield. So Starfield is, I love space games, but I'm not sure what it's like to watch it from a co-witness sort of perspective, because, playing Elite Dangerous is great for the player. I put on NASA radio, it's on the, it's there, and then I'm playing Elite. But that's literally jumping from star to star. And someone watching that? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. Starfield looks a little bit different because, there's obviously space travel and space combat, but it's more around the planets, right? The focus is around the planets and the interactions. So from that sort of standpoint, yeah, it could work. But it's big though, and it's not linear, right? So we've been mainly focusing on linear. And my ADD ass in an open world game, I have no idea what that'll look like to watch. Because the thing is, it's just like, I know it's by design, but like if you watch me playing Ghost of Tsushima, I'll be doing one thing and then it's like looking at a butterfly. I'm like, oh, and I go and, follow that. So like any small thing that happens, which is great for playing, but for watching, yeah, I don't know. But I want to, I've missed. I never know how much you need something until it's gone. And not being able to record and edit and upload content has sucked. But you know what? I think I'm glad it happened now to kind of tell me like, yeah, it is something you want to do. So you need to make sure whatever it takes to be able to do it. And for that, I'm grateful. So yeah, sorry for the non-uploads. And but I'm hoping now that we can kind of go full steam ahead. And yeah, Liza P is soon. Where are we now? Look, we're end of July. I'm hoping to smash Returnal before Liza P or just after, but I want to be able to do Liza P, and because after Liza P, a month later is what's his name? September. Look, it's how it goes. Spring for us, for the southern hemisphere, and fall for the north. Yeah, I mean it's a busy time for gaming. There's a lot of games coming out. I don't want to fall behind. And as long as I've started them when they've sort of launched, I'll be happy. It just means that it's going to be a bit, and what I may need to do is I may need to stream the one, record the other. I don't know yet. And yeah, with Starfield, I don't know. I think Starfield would be a stream as well. I don't think that could be a record because it's just so much data. Anyway, we've got a little bit of time to work that out. And hopefully by then, like I've worked out pretty much what we're going to be doing. But yeah, thanks for hanging in there. I need to edit that last recording that we got. But that'll probably take quicker than getting back to where we were in Returnal. Because I've got to go back, beat those 3 bosses, starting again. Oh. Look, I think it should be quicker because I've done it before. I'm hoping. But yeah, that might take me a week or 2. And also we got to sort out the fan before the next recording. But yeah, 4K, which I'm stoked for. I want higher quality production. I'm probably looking at another mic, depending on how things go. And I've got to work out how the hell we're going to position these shelves. I don't know. We'll get there. And yeah, onward and upward, man. I'm stoked. I can't wait to jump into Liza P. I've done a little bit on PlayStation. There's one video on the channel. It was the final boss of the demo. Game's hard, man. It's hard. It's tough. Harder than Returnal? Yeah. But, the beauty is Liza P isn't a roguelike. So you save progress. So you can kind of just bash out the boss over and over until you get it without having to redo the stage. But it's tougher. It's definitely tougher. And then the Lords of the Fallen. I think they've dropped the now. It's just Lords of the Fallen like the other one was. Essentially, it's a reboot of an old title, but the reboot looks amazing. Man, if you've been following along on Twitter, I posted a lot. Because we've got a little bit of time, but what I would like to do is kind of like a gameplay recap. Because they've got quite a bit of previews and stuff out. So I'd like to kind of do a bit of reaction and sort of talk about the games that we're looking at. And then we can decide. If we want to do Starfield, I think it'd be awesome. But again, it's open world. There's no sort of like. I mean, there will be direction. I can't say there won't be, but it's an open world. It's not like. It's not linear. So yeah, it's a completely different experience, and I'm not sure what that would mean for people who've been watching already. Anyway. Enough rambling. I will update the community page more regularly. Again, it's just been nuts. But yeah, I'm hoping to get back on track within the next week or 2 at the most. And if we can stream, I've got to work out how that's going to look like and how that's going to sort of, how that's going to go. But it might be an idea. So probably a few things will change. Like camera angles are probably going to change a little bit. I want to bring it down a little. There's a few things that there's a lot of knickknacks that need to be. I mean, if you could see my desk right now, man, I'm rewiring plugs. There's shit everywhere. So yes, yeah. Anyway. But yeah, next 2 weeks should be up and running, and then I just want to get back into it and making content for you guys. I'm stoked. I've missed it. I've missed it. Can't believe how much I've missed it. Just being able to sit and do this is like, oh. Anyway, I will see you in the next video. And what I'll do is I'll do a different intro for the for the old footage that I've got. And hopefully the plan is to kind of do that footage and be at a similar spot in Returnal. If not, and it's taking me like ages to redo it, then maybe we just stream it. I don't know. Let's see how it goes. Have a good week. It may be 2 weeks. Have a good 2 weeks. And then I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. And we're back. No. Can't cough like that. That's nuts. This is licorice. Ah. I love licorice brew. Feels like I need to sleep for a week.